What's good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special episode of Conversations with Prime Origins. This is a special episode, so I'm not gonna say these are my thoughts and these are my opinions. These are my real life situations, and this is the origins, the beginning, and how I got started into DJing. So without further ado, let's get into this, and I will tell you who inspired me to do this at the end of the video. Stick around. This is gonna be a good one. I started DJing back in like 1989, and my first set of turntables was straight arm turntables, SL, BD. I forget the name of them, but they were straight arms, very cheap. My father was not trying to buy the Technics 1200s. He was like, you out of your mind, $500 for turntables. That's how much they cost in the Wiz. They were $500. And I remember my cousins had a pair and I wanted whatever they had, basically. And that's when I started in '89. I believe I was about 11 years old, but I got inspired when I was like 9 or 10. I used to always see them cutting and scratching records. Shout out to my cousins, it's 4 of them. Greg, Vincent, Pug, and Seth. Rest in peace, Pug. He really inspired me. Pug was the one that did all the scratching and stuff out of everybody, you know? So I was really inspired. Yeah, so I was 11 when I started, officially 11 when I started DJing. And I knew it was gonna be a great journey. I was always around music all my life, hearing my father play a lot of old soulful music. So I was always around music, always loved it. And the funny thing about it, I wasn't really into hip hop like that in the very beginning at that age. I think I used to listen to like rock music. It's so funny. Poison was the group I listened to a lot. And my sister used to play Rap Attack with Marley Marl and Mr. Magic. She used to play it, and I used to tell her, yo, cut that off. I don't want to hear that. Like, you know, I was young, and she played it and kept playing it. And I remember I went to the store, to the Wiz, with her to get the Eric B. and Rakim, the Paid in Full album. And once she got that, like, I was hooked. From that on, I was hooked. So shout out to my sister, Gina. Love you to death. Without her, you wouldn't have Prime, you know? So she's the one that really got me into it, and it was amazing after that. And I didn't start out with initially 1200s. Like I said, I had the straight arm turntables. I got the 1200s in 1990, around 1990. I just kept begging my mother for it, so she bought one. I remember we went to the Wiz that day, the Wiz on Steinway Street. She paid like 5 and some change. I always remember seeing that $4.99 price, so she paid like 5 and some change for it. I got one, and I had a, forgot the mix I had, but I'm put it up right here. It was a wood grain. I know it was wood grain. That was my first mix I had, and I remember, so funny, I couldn't wait to open it up, and when I opened the mixer up that day, it fell on my leg, and I opened it like 2 days before Christmas, and I got a big scratch on my leg from the mixer. I was bleeding and everything, and my sister was laughing at me. Then I woke my father up like, I can't play it, I don't hear nothing. And he's like, you need an amp for that thing. That was a famous line that my father said. He was tight, woke him up. I was fiending to play music. And he said, you need an amp. So, you know, I went ahead and got the amp and everything. It's kind of cold. You see, we got a different background today. You know, it's a little cold, about 40-something degrees in New York City. Wanted a different feel. But yeah, he said I need an amp, so we went and got the amp. I think I used his amp when he went to work, hooked it up, and rocked out. Amazing times, man. And so that was Christmas. And my birthday is like 1 month after Christmas, so my cousin, shout out to Aretha, love you, and my sister, Gina, they put money together and they bought the other one. So that was amazing. My mother bought me one pair. She bought me one turntable in December, and my sister and my cousin bought me the other one. And from then on, the journey was on. I was open. I remember they gave us the real thick, they had the rubber slip mats, then I got the Stanton joints. They was real thick, not like the ones today. And I was rocking out on them, trying to scratch and cut everything. That's all I was doing, trying to scratch and cut everything, playing music. I just wanted to scratch. That was the funny thing. Out of all the equipment, out of all the turntables, and I remember I had some Linear Techs. I did the dumbest thing when I was a kid. I had sold my 1200s. Forgot what year it was, maybe like 4 or 5 years after I had it. And I had bought some Linear Techs, I think that's how you say it. I had bought those from Rock and Soul, so crazy. I had bought those, and whatever money I had extra, I spent on weed and stuff like that. And I regretted doing that, I really did. I really regretted selling those. It was just crazy. Years later, I had got it back. But 1200 is nothing like 1200s. I mean, when you get the 1200 new out the box, the way it smells and everything, the weight of it. Now I'm talking about the 1200 MK2s. Those are my 1200 MK2s are my favorite turntables of all times. I remember I had the Pickering needles. You know, used to put the little nickel on it so it won't jump. So I gotta say 1200s by far is one of my favorites. Second favorite gotta be the PLX 1000s. I love those. That's what I currently use a lot now. And I have a set of MK2s. Can't go wrong. I wanna tell you a story. This is real crazy. This is my most embarrassing moment as a DJ. They had a party in my school, in elementary school. I think it was like 7th or 8th grade. And I was so open, so I was like, yo, I'll do the party. He's like, yeah, Eugene DJs, he'll do the party. So I bought my equipment to the dance. Long story short, set everything up. Remember, I had the speaker, the wood grain speakers. This is no preamp. Wood grain speakers, had my father's amp. So I did the party on rocking out. Remember, I had bought the Poison record from the Wiz. I was rocking out, had everybody rocking a little bit, not too crazy. I wasn't that much of a great DJ in the beginning. I ain't gonna sit here and cap. I needed a lot of help, a lot of work, but I was, you know, playing the music, had everything rocking. Next thing you know, I started smelling something, then I see smoke coming out from the amp. I'm like, oh man. So I see the smoke coming out from the amp. Next thing you know, everything cut off. Everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. And there was this white kid in there with glasses, and he didn't go to the school, but he was just chilling in there. And he spoke to the teacher, and he was like, you know, I'll go get my equipment. That's what he said. That's what he eventually did. So he went, got his equipment, bought some big ass Gem Sound speakers. He had a Technics 1200. He had them in a gray coffin with the, you know, the coffin that looked like a rug carpet. He bought that out, and I'm sitting there like, I'm kind of hating, I'm mad, I'm embarrassed, I'm mad, I'm upset at myself, I'm ready to leave. Like, I don't even want to be seen. I'm like, yo, I have to live with this. And he hooked everything up, and he had that place jumping. I remember he was playing some freestyle music, and K7, yo, he had it jumping, and they was really feeling him. And I was just looking stupid, I ain't gonna lie. And my teacher was like, this is how you do it. This is the equipment you should have. So he was rubbing it in, insult to injury. Oh my God. That was my most embarrassing moment. I had to have been like about 12, something 13. Really embarrassing, but you know, now you know. I ain't holding nothing back a while. You know, that was one of my most embarrassing moments, and I think me and him got cool after a while. We never linked up, but shout out to that kid. I don't even remember his name, but he was a cool kid. I took two breaks. I took a break in '98 till about 2002, started focusing on production more, doing a lot of production. That was the main focus, doing the production. At that time, I wasn't DJing, so I was out the game. Came back in the game like 2002, started seeing a lot of battle videos, whatever, so I was in Guitar Center. This is when I, you know, got back into it from like a 3-year hiatus, and I was just messing around with the equipment, and I saw they had like a setup for a battle. This is when Guitar Center had their battles, and I'm like, yo, asked the guy, what's going on? He's like, oh, we having a DJ battle, you should join. Do you DJ? I was like, yeah, but I'm not ready for this. He's like, oh, you know, just try it out. So I messed around on it, did a few scratches, and he's like, oh, that sounds great, man. You should do it. I'm telling you, man, just give it a try. You got nothing to lose. So I ended up entering the battle. I ended up coming in first place, but this was like the rounds before the final rounds. So I saw these two guys in there just walking around when I was doing my set, but they already had won the first round, so they was going to the finals. And I asked my man, like, yo, who that? And he's like, yo, that's Boogie Blind and DJ Precision. I'm like, wow, okay. I didn't know, I still didn't like see no videos yet. So I went home and I checked out some videos. I think I had a few, and I checked them out, and they were, oh man, incredible. I was like, yo, I don't even want to go back to enter this competition. It's a dub, you know, they're gonna kill everybody. And sure enough, so we went to the final round. I tried to put together what I could, and I flopped, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the executioners, shout out to Boogie Blind and Precision. That was Guitar Center battle in 2002. And I also met someone really great. He's a legend in my eyes. I met DJ Flawless in that battle. He was incredible. Flawless was incredible. That's a great person. Shout out to Flawless. Nothing but love and respect. That's my brother. It's a lot of great things came out of being a DJ, I can't lie. That was 2002 Guitar Center battle. One of my favorite turntablists of all times. We're gonna go with turntablist and DJ. My favorite turntablist of all time is Rock Raider, the legendary Grandmaster Rock Raider, rest in peace. That dude, when I first saw him, I forgot which DMC it was, but I know he did the Edo G routine and the Chief Rocker. Killed it, bodied it. And I was like, yo, this dude is something special. Like, it's not really nobody like him. And he was like doing people dirty with the body tricks. And I still to this day, I haven't seen no one perform like that. And after watching him, I have to say my inspiration when it comes to battling and things like that, doing routines, I'm definitely inspired by Rock Raider. I think he's the best to ever do it, the best to ever touch them turntables. So shout out to the God, Rock Raider. Rest in peace, my brother. As far as my favorite DJ, I gotta give it up to Kid Capri. I still don't think nobody rocks a party like Kid Capri. The way he rocks that mic and the way he rocks the crowd is just incredible. And it's a gift. And I always tell my man that it's like, yo, that's really a gift, you know, to be able to rock out like that. It's amazing. Kid Capri gotta be one of my favorite, you know, when it comes to club DJ party rocking, he definitely got it, you know what I'm saying? Definitely got it locked down. I wanna say my goals now is just to teach what I know, help people out that need help in certain areas. Like if someone hits me up, you know, I wanna teach them what I know. And with that being said, if you ever need any DJ lessons, I got a link in the description. You could click on it, you know, hit me up. Let's, you know what I'm saying, let's link up. We could do it through Zoom. Help you become a better DJ, whatever you need help in, I got you. Very affordable, $40 to $50 an hour. And you know, the rates that they have out here for a lot of DJ schools and a lot of lessons is crazy. So I got you on that level. Yeah, so that's basically, you know, my goal is just to teach people, help people out, help preserve this beautiful culture that we have. My man always asks me, where do I see DJing 10 years from now? And I definitely see like technology playing a major part in it. I don't want to say taking it over completely. I don't want to say that, but definitely I want to say that it's going to be heavy. The technology is going to be heavy in there because right now you really don't have to do much. You could literally make a playlist and play it from your computer. You could let it play and it could play automatic. You know, you could put it in pilot mode and it can play automatic. So it's really like, you don't have to do much. You know, they got playlists, they got programs that can, you know, blend music together. So just imagine what it's gonna be like 10 years from now. It's not what it was 10, 15 years ago, so I can only just imagine. Hopefully, they'll still need dope DJs like me and the rest of my friends, you know? I took a 15-year hiatus. In 2005, I kind of put everything down, said I wasn't really feeling it no more. I stepped away from it and fully focused on production. And you know, I used to rap a little bit, but I was focusing more on production. I think like I started to get an itch, like maybe in 2018, 2019, started to get a little itch. And I'm like, nah, I'm not getting back into this because it's like, it's a lot of money. Like this equipment's gonna cost a lot and things like that. And I remember I got a phone call from my sister and she told me my cousin passed away. And that's the one that I, you know, looked up to the most when it came to DJing. And I said, you know, I'm gonna get back into it. And I had some money saved up. I went out and bought me some Rain 12s. I bought an MK72 mixer. And yeah, about 2020, I came back into it and I'm so glad because I met so many great DJs. You know, my boy Legend, me and Legend go back to like 97, but he plays a big part in the whole Prime dynasty. He plays a really big part. Shout out to my brother. Love you to death, King, you already know. But at the end of the day, the legacy that I want to leave behind for my sons or for anybody, and most of the time you really see me posting a lot of videos, I'm not posting to show off. I have nothing to show off. I just post to try to see what I need help in. It's like a mirror almost. So I post it, look at it later, see if I improved or not. That's why I post a lot of videos, so now you know. I just want to leave something behind. Who knows, maybe my son may want to pick up where I left off at and he'll have a blueprint. He'll have his father's blueprint. So I wasn't a great DJ in the beginning. There was a lot of things that I needed help with. I had a lot of arrogance, a lot of cockiness, and I didn't have nothing to really back it up with. And that's one advice I could give to people. Just be humble as much as you can. Even if you're good, there's always somebody better. And even if you're better than that person, it's always somebody better than that person. It's always. That's really it in a nutshell. Like I said, if you need lessons, hit me up. I'm here. I'm so glad to be a part of this beautiful DJ community. And let's just, you know, try to really help one another instead of, you know, taking everybody down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. It's your boy DJ Prime, Prime Origins. And I told you at the end of the video, I was gonna let you know who inspired me to do this. And it's no other than my brother 360. I was telling him about an episode I was doing. He's like, we already know about them. We heard about them. He said, we wanna know your story. We wanna know the Prime story, and then the Prime Origins just popped up. So I wanna thank him. I wanna thank my brother, nothing but love and respect to my brother. Because without him mentioning that to me, it probably wouldn't have, I'm not saying I would have never did it, probably would have took some time. Yo, 360, thank you, my brother, from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for your ongoing support. Thanks for your advice. deeds, your words, everything, King. And once again, my name is Prime, Conversations with Prime. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm out of here. 1.